To be able to get those 500 plus cocktails out a night, we're preparing hours before the doors open. We gotta make sure all 15 of our cocktail batches, juices and syrups are ready to go. Being head bartender at such a legendary location, a place with so much history, has a lot that comes with it. When you say mixology, you think of a guy in kind of a white coat, dropping droplets of something more science than art. I try to keep it more on the art side. How's it going? I'm Sweeney. I'm head bartender here at Pebble Bar, and I'm excited to show you around. Come on. It's 1 p.m. We got a lot of work to do, so we're gonna get started. This is our second floor bar. Now this is a 4-story townhouse. We have a bar on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. Now this place has been around since 1892. It was originally a bar called Hurley's. In 1930, John D. Rockefeller was buying out this whole area for his Rockefeller Plaza. This building sticks out because it is the single one that he was not able to buy. There's a large group of investors that we have. Pete Davidson, Mark Ronson, Nick Braun, Jason Sudeikis, and Ariane Moyad, and they're all wonderful guys who send me an edible arrangement every one of my birthdays, I swear. We gotta go upstairs so I got a keg to change, but we're gonna pass our door that's been the source of many legends, so follow me. All right, and this right here might not look like much, but this is kind of legendary, and this is where Johnny Carson used to enter. Right now, if you walk up there, you'll be right in the set of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. So it'll lead us right to our bar here called Johnny's, named after Johnny Carson. Right now, we're gonna walk back into the prep kitchen, and we're gonna check on the walk-in and see kegs I gotta change. So come with me. Here's our walk-in. Some might call it cozy. I can think of another word for it. These are all of our kegs right over here. As head bartender, it's my job to make sure that we're stocked and all these beers are ordered along with all the liquor here. We have 4 kinds of beers right here. Each of these are probably gonna be changed about twice a week. We have the dials that are gonna make sure that our beer is coming out at a proper rate, that it's not gonna get too foamy or too little on pressure. This is called a FOP system here. This would not be necessary if these were right below the bar, but because it has to travel such a distance, these regulate it and all your waste comes in here instead. If you've worked at another bar and you change a keg, you find you have to go through 2 pitchers of beer that it's all foam and you're just wasting beer as you go. It's more cost effective to have these. If you look up at these FOPs right now, you'll see that they're balanced and they're filled with beer. This one is not. That means there's nothing in it, it's gotta be changed. This might be the 10,000th keg I've ever changed in my life. I'm gonna go counterclockwise, then the hernia-inducing part. Full keg right underneath, peel this off. We're gonna do it clockwise on this one. It's on like that. And as you see, it just shot right up, right there. Green means go. And now for the beer to get out, it needs a catalyst. We have nitrogen and we have CO2. For the beer, it's about a 70% nitrogen, 30% CO2. Why not all CO2? Because you don't want it so carbonated. You want those tiny bubbles that comes with the nitrogen right here. As I can see, it's pretty much on empty, and the last thing you want is that running out in the middle of service and bartenders not figuring out why their beer is coming out awfully. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, and we're gonna switch it with a full canister here. Tighten it up, and we have liftoff. So it's 1:30, beer looks good, nitrogen looks good, CO2 looks good. Now we're gonna start going to work on these keg cocktails here. All right, we have the Negroni and we have the Old Fashioned. These work for me as keg cocktails because there is no citrus in them. We do all our citrus fresh. So if our citrus is over 36 hours old, I'm getting rid of it. It might as well be dairy products in the desert as far as I'm concerned at that point. We're serving 500 cocktails a day essentially in the bar. It makes such a difference to have these on tap. First of all, we gotta make sure it's aired out. Now, when it comes to a Negroni here, it's all liquor. It does have sweet vermouth in it, doesn't last forever, so I like to start with a fresh batch about every 2 weeks for Negroni. This one just came from 2 days ago, so I'm fine to just fill it in here. 1 part Campari, 1 part sweet vermouth, 1 part gin. I can go directly into here. The Negroni, aptly named after Count Negroni, he reportedly told his bartender that he wanted a stiffer version of an Americano. From there, it just became such a classic recipe that it's not just Negronis anymore. It's Boulevardiers, which with whiskey. It's Kingston Negronis, and the ever-famous nowadays Spagliatos, which have been picking up in steam. So right now I've put in 2 bottles of sweet vermouths, 2 bottles of Campari, 2 bottles of Plymouth gin. So we're gonna do 1,500 milliliters of water for dilution. The dilution would normally come from the ice and the stirring. I don't want it too diluted because it's gonna go on top of an ice cube, so it'll get a little extra. We're using tap water for this. New York tap water, the finest in the world. So when it comes to how much we can get out of each one of these kegs, I would estimate just shy of about 200 old fashions. Maybe a little less than the Negroni, between 150 and 200. If it is not tight and taut, you are not going to have a keg that works. This is essentially my workout regimen these days. And now we're gonna do the old fashioned. The old fashioned we're not gonna do inside of the keg because I wanna make sure I get everything good and mixed up. I always do the old fashions as head bartender because I wanna make sure that the taste is absolutely right. Right here we have 12 bottles of whiskey. As I was taught years ago by the great Jim Kearns, always start with your cheapest ingredient first. Don't start pouring in your most expensive ingredient. If you make a mistake, you're in trouble and you've completely screwed yourself. So we're gonna start with water. So the biggest mistake sometimes with the keg old fashioned is that the dilution level is wrong and that it's too sweet. As head bartender, it's gonna be my choice what our recipe is. This, the way it's selling, I think we're doing okay on this one. Does that sound too conceited?
No, that sounds awesome.
For this, we're now gonna use our sugar. We use Demerara syrup. 2 parts measurement of the sugar to 1 part measurement of the water. I don't want it to be too sweet. As a matter of fact, if you ever start a bar and call it not too sweet, I think you'll have a line around the block. People love that. And if you use that, you owe me 10%. I'm gonna use 600 milliliters of Angostura. And I'm gonna do 300 of the orange bitters right here. Your bitters are essentially the spice rack of a bar. And I love what orange bitters brings out. Let's go with the whiskey. I'm using every fiber in my being to not to drop these and look horrible. The other key is mixing it. I want to give it a little taste after swirling to make sure it's right. I gotta pace myself. I'm going till 1 a.m. tonight. It's got that perfect level of dilution. It's got that perfect level of spice for what I want. So I'm good to go with it. Once this wash line gets low enough, I will try with my best dexterity to try to actually dump this all into here without making a mess and spilling product. All right, either this is gonna go perfectly or I'm gonna make a big mistake and make an ass out of myself. See the ball, be the ball. All right, it's 2 o'clock in the post-meridian Eastern Standard Time, so we gotta get going on batch cocktails next. Out goes with out, in goes with in, feel it, and is it carbonated? Yes. We have something like 21 cocktails on our actual cocktail menu. I think something like 15 of them are actually batched. Why do we do that? Let's take our first cocktail right here. There's 3 different kinds of alcohol. If we combine these all into one, it's a 1 bottle pickup for that. We're not gonna put any citrus in there because that just will not last, so bartender's gonna have to do that. Some people will put syrups into a batch cocktail. I don't personally like to do it because I don't want it all to fall to the bottom, really. We do it like, for instance, as you saw with our old-fashioned keg, but syrups have a finite amount of time. These babies, these guys can last for, well, infinitely, really. Doing up to 500 cocktails, even more at a night. This will not take away from the quality of it, mixing liquor with liquor. It's absolutely totally fine. It's shelf stable. Sweet Dreams is named after the Eurythmics song. Most of the cocktails on our list is named after bands or songs that were featured at Radio City Music Hall at one point in time. So the Sweet Dreams kind of tastes like a holiday cocktail to me. It has a whole egg in it. It's got lemon juice. It's got the herbaceousness of our liqueurs there. It's got the sweetness of the cherry hearing, and it's got that peat of that scotch all going for it. It's got nutmeg, it's got cinnamon. It's basically like a wonderful, wonderful eggnog. We get a recipe, or a spec as we call it, from an R&D session. We test out cocktails and we adjust them. And then basically, if it works out perfectly, we can multiply those numbers into a large batch amount, which is what we're doing right now here. All right, let's move it on to our next cocktail. And we're gonna do the Lucille here. Our Mater D. Ryan here was a huge fan of M&M's, Mezcal Montenegro shots. It was pretty simple, taking those 2 ingredients, and then I added Coqui Torino, which is a form of sweet vermouth. It's got that rhubarb, that tobacco, that leather kind of taste to it. That might sound unappetizing, but trust me, it's really good. That is a stamp. The copper allows it to indent, and you have a design on the top of your big ice cube here. And then the chocolate that comes with the mole bitters. And it kind of completely works. So those are the batch cocktails we're making today. I'm sure there'll be more tomorrow that we got to do, but right now it's 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna work on a syrup that we're gonna need for service, and let's get moving. And here we are, our dining room bar. Dining room to the left of me, kitchen to the right. Getting set to make cinnamon syrup because we have it in 2 of our cocktails right now. First things first, I'm gonna weigh out the cinnamon. With the syrups that we do, it's gonna give it some flavor, it's gonna give it some fat as well. Everything being made in-house, if done well, is going to be better. We don't use lemon and lime juice that comes in a bottle. We juice that every day. Now, the bottle can last longer, but it's just so much better done fresh. I want 1 pound of water for every pound of sugar I have. I got 6 pounds. Pints a pound to whirl around, so I do this 3 times. And for those of you wondering at home, that's Chef Carlos Barrera back there, our head chef of our kitchen. Hello. He's affectionately given me the nickname of Gringo, which I believe means benevolent savant, but I haven't looked it up yet. And now, sugar in the raw. It's a dark brown sugar. Time. I'm gonna put it about 430. I can always cut it then later. This one absolutely requires being put over heat. In cocktails outside of the old fashioned, you almost definitely want the syrup. The consistency is going to be better that way. So we're gonna do this to about 10 to 15 minutes. Once you get that smell of that cinnamon, you know it's on the right path. You don't want it to get to a boil. I never want my syrups to get to a boil. Boiling is no bueno. All that sugar's dissolved. I got that great cinnamon smell going to it. Let me give it a little taste. Make sure it's exactly what I want. Or exactly what the customers want, I should say. Oh yeah. All right, so this cinnamon here, I think it'll last me a week. So I'm gonna get this stuff out of here and we're gonna set up for an R&D session with me, myself, and I. Management has asked me to do a tiki cocktail. I swear I've never tried this cocktail before, so this might be some Icarus level idiocy, but we're gonna have fun either way. R&D stands for research and development. The normal process is you have an idea. I try to take notes and keep these ideas in my head on what we're gonna do for a cocktail in the future. When I'm happy with it, eventually there'll be a big R&D session with all the bartenders. The things that graduate from that all of a sudden go in front of the committee of the heads of state here. Now, my style is usually dark and boozy. Those are the things I specialize in, and I know absolute titans of this game. People are gonna be judging me on this one. So we're gonna see what I can do with this. This, I have my official recipes I'm happy with. They have been completed, the Necronomicon here. Then you have this. This is me reading a book today. This was a gift from a friend, HH. You know who you are, thank you. And it's just an idea, that's all it is. So I'm sitting here, I'm writing ingredients. Will it work? I don't have a lick of clue, but we're gonna try it out. I have some chinola. It'll be a passion fruit liqueur. And then I'm using 3 types of rum. Silver, Jamaican style. We have another version of a dark rum here, the Guatemalan rum. So we mix it together, it gives it more complexity, it adds different flavors to it. Doing R&D personally is a year-round activity. Got to keep doing it as we go. And that's one of the great places about this place, they give me the freedom to kind of try all this out and be able to test. 1/4 ounce of chinola. We had passion fruit syrup at a previous bar, Slowly Surely, that I worked at, and it worked really well in the tiki cocktails there. So I'm gonna try to find an original spin on it, hopefully. 3/4 of an ounce of plantation. 1 ounce of Appleton and Zacapa. We always have a working title, basically. I'm calling this Tiki Blinders. Will that stick? Probably not, because there'll probably be a theme to it, but you know, I'm quasi proud of it. I love the way crushed ice dilutes in a tiki cocktail. Choosing your ice and how much dilution you want is very important. Cubed ice, texturally, just doesn't work as well. And give myself a straw taste. It's good, but there's no way that's a finished product. First of all, I am gonna put the bitters on top and see if I like the way that that goes with it. I like it a lot better with the bitters, but what I am going to do is I'm going to cut the pineapple a little bit on this next one, and round 2. Now the thing about R&D is when you make a cocktail, the next cocktail you do, you can only change 1 thing. If you change 2 things, you're gonna be confused on what made it good or not. So it can be expensive to R&D. It needs a kick, and it's missing a kick that I would love to have. I am going to add some overproof rum. I got some Wray and Nephew right here. This will set your hair on fire. 63% alcohol by volume, 126 proof. All right, let's try this one more time. This will be the last one. Will I have something to bring to committee? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna be straight. When it comes to having a natural gift for this mixology, as they call it, I don't have that. But I know enough of the rules, and I've learned and I've worked at that. But I consider myself a bartender. One of the big details on why you're gonna shake as opposed to stir is the presence of citrus or dairy. It really, really welcomes itself to more dilution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, Wray and Nephew made a difference there. I think I have something that I can bring to my peers and say, what do you think of this? Is this gonna work for you? This is truly me at my most naked here. I give you, for the first time ever, the Tiki Blinders. So it's 4 o'clock. Right now as we speak, the downstairs bar is opening. We're open up here in an hour. We're not really close to set to go, so let's get moving. Now the part of me being a head bartender kind of ends for the day, outside of maybe ordering or people wanting to know where stuff is. Now my part of every other bartender starts right now. We gotta make sure this bar is ready for service. So see how nice and clean this bar is? Let's make it filthy right now and fill it up with things. So I'm pretty much gonna be taking inventory of what's behind the bars. There is a timeline on how long those are gonna be good for, but we get so busy here that we don't even have to worry about that. Now the other cool thing about today is it's a Tuesday. We do a whole new prep day on Monday. Everything from the weekend that's left over is too old, we throw it away. Monday we start over. So I know I'm not gonna have any old juices to worry about here. That makes the job a little bit easier today than it might be later in the week where I really have to look at the dates. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. When you have a different garnish for every drink, when you have different citrus in every drink, when you have different syrups in every drink, you gotta be very, very, very economical with your time. You gotta be very, very smart about your space. It's almost like a clown car, the way the things just keep coming out of here. You can do this part in really fast motion with like the Benny Hill music playing or something like that. That'd be amazing. Talking about our batches early. Batch bottle, batch bottle, batch bottle, batch bottle. Again, tambien, tambien, tambien. And these are gonna go right in front of me in my well. In most every bar that you go to, the well that the bartender's working at will have their well spirits in front of there, their vodkas, their gins. We don't have that because as our menu goes, we get orders for these way more than we get vodka sodas. I have a checklist here, spirits that we need, batches that we need, wine that we need, garnishes that we need, mixers that we need. As head bartender, I am responsible to make sure that this list exists. So down here, we're gonna have juices that we need, syrups that we need, all right here on my left. An economy of movement is so important in this. If you're reaching over here, here, 4 things for 1 drink, you're just gonna slow it down and people aren't gonna get their drinks in a timely manner. If you pick up the same bottle twice in 1 round of cocktails, you failed. There is a specific type of organization for the garnishes. My most popular garnishes are gonna go right in front of me. My tool check. I wanna make sure that I got 4 shaker tins, 2 mixing glasses. I wanna make sure I have a small jigger and a large jigger. I got my stamp. I got a microplane. I got 4 Hawthorne strainers. I have a tong and I have a knife. It's 4:51 and 36 seconds. We're gonna be open in just over 8 minutes. Let's get ready for service. It's 5 o'clock. Ready for service, I'm ready to go. We're just gonna wait for some tickets and this place is gonna be filled up in just a second. First ticket of the evening, Sweet Dreams, Green River, Sunday Lager. So when an order comes in, I wanna make sure that there's not one drink sitting longer than the other one that's gonna over dilute or get warm. So pretty much I'm building everything off this ticket as it comes. If someone just has a vodka soda, there's no reason for them to wait whatsoever. So the egg serves as basically a nog in what this drink's going out as. We originally tried it with just an egg white, but it was just too dry. Dry shake, macerate all that egg, and then I'm gonna do an ice shake. We got 2 coming down here, Sweet Dreams and the Green River. This is the cream. It's a Wu-Tang reference. Cash runs everything around me. My usual method for pouring the beer is to make sure the glass is tilted at its side. That way you're gonna get that foam, but not too much. And as you bring it down as you go, hopefully by the end, boom, you get a gorgeous pour each time. My worst case scenario in the bar, honestly, would be closing out someone to the wrong credit card. That has happened to me once in this life, and I have lost sleep waking up in the middle of the night going, I can't believe I did that. The person was very, very nice, and by nice, I mean not at all, and I always have that story to go back on. What would you like to take a shot of?
Tequila.
Tequila? Step right up. I'm here to give you an experience, and if somebody really needs a shot and they want me in on it, I can handle myself, and things aren't gonna go way out of whack doing that. Absolutely. Let's toast one together. We both earned it. Thanks for coming along with me today. Hope you have an idea kind of what our normal day is like here. We got some cyanide, we got some strychnine, we got some turpentine, so let's down them. Thank you for coming along. Cheers, y'all. Ready for me?
Y'all ready for this?
You good?